I just came back from Thailand, rounded up all my holiday receipts, and to my horror, I've overshot my yearly budget for travels. Now, in a previous sharing, I've actually mentioned that I'll budget $9,000 a year for the entire family holiday budget. But if I were to produce these results as finance department, somebody's going to get fired, man. So today, if you are curious about what hotel I stayed in, what flights did I choose, what itinerary ideas that you can adopt for yourself, stick with me. I'll bring you on the holiday journey. Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you for sticking right with me, right to the very end of the year. Today, I'll look back at year 2003's entire holiday season that I've done for myself and my family. I've actually done 6 major trips all over to Southeast Asia, and these trips do not include some day trips to JB, so the overall budget could be even bigger than this. But I'll just only factor those that I've brought my kids along that I've stayed overnight in. So without further ado, let's start with the first trip, which was actually in January 2023, which is to Malacca. Now this is actually a blog that I've done before, our 3-day 2-night Malacca holiday. So if you're keen on Malacca, look out for that, because I'm very familiar with Malacca. I've been there at least like 20 times already. Malacca has actually a lot of nice food, a lot of cheap hotels. So if you don't fly overseas with a young baby, for example, I think Malacca is a very easy choice. I'll name drop some of my favorite hotels, so listen up for it. For this trip, I actually stayed in Casa del Rio, which is probably the best one in Malacca, just to test it out. But my opinion now is, the hotel rooms are great, the breakfast is great, but probably not at this price. It's a bit inflated in my opinion. So if you were to travel to Malacca, I'll probably recommend you Hutton or Holiday Inn. They're actually pretty good. Or if you want something more hipster, more Insta-worthy, you can actually try Rosa. So as always, if you'd like to find out more about Malacca, look for links below for my blog post. The second trip I've made for 2023 was actually to Putri Harbour Hotel Jen. This hotel has since closed. Very sad, correct? And this is actually where I did my famous TikTok video. You see, a lot of things are closed. Wow, I'm now at Putri Harbour. Shops, also, only Starbucks is open. Now, Hotel Jen at Putri Harbour was pretty cheap. I only spent like 200 plus on the hotel stay. So all in all, this short trip of 3 days 2 nights will cost me about $400. The third trip I brought my family along with me was in March 2023. As you can see, start of the year got a lot of pent up travel. That's why I keep going road trips to Malaysia. But for this trip, I actually flew to Taiwan. This was a 7-day 6-night trip flying by Scoot. So as you can see, I really travel on budget airlines. And even with Scoot, I managed to earn some KrisFlyer miles. So just in case you also have miles, or if you're looking for a good rewards app, check out Kris Plus, who is today's sponsor. Right now, I use Kris Plus app to spend and earn KrisPay miles in some of my favorite restaurants. So let me do a quick demonstration for you to see. I brought my kids to Paradise Dynasty because they like to eat the xiao long bao over there. So I simply paid with it with my existing KrisPay miles. And I actually demo how I earn miles by paid with KrisPay. Lao Beijing has 7 KrisPay miles per $1 spent. That is actually pretty high. You would see that this bill has earned me 917 KrisPay miles. That equates to $6+ as a reward. Pretty good, correct? As you can see, Kris Plus is a very powerful rewards app. And just to re-highlight some of Kris Plus's key benefits, they are the only miles accumulation mobile app in the market. Kris Plus allows you to stack rewards, and there's no min spend and no caps on the amounts of miles that you can earn. If you sign up today using my referral codes below, you get 750 miles absolutely free. That itself equates to $5. So talking about so much food, Taiwan has a lot of great food, correct? And let's get back to the Taiwan trip itself. Firstly, I stayed one night at Taoyuan. Then I traveled south to Taichung. And eventually we drove up to Qingjing. Yes, I actually rented a car and did a self-drive in Taiwan. Even though it's left-hand drive, I actually think it's not that difficult. Personal opinion. On Malaysia, it seems a lot more stressful even though it's right-hand drive because the drivers there are so aggressive. But my driving experience in Taiwan suggested that it's actually pretty achievable. And mentioning about Qingjing, this hotel, Julie's Garden. Now, if you have also young kids, I think this is a top recommendation I have. I'll show you some private holiday clips I did with my family. There's actually a slide inside the room itself, so it's pretty cool. Young boys, they like to go up and down a slide. So if you're thinking of somewhere different, check out Qingjing and check out this particular homestay. So from there, we actually drove back to Taipei. And all in all, the total cost for Taiwan was $1,700 in flight, plus a total hotel cost of $1,081, which brings the total Taiwan trip cost to around $4,000. Fourth trip of the year, May 2023, I went with my family to Penang. Now this was a 6-day 5-night trip, and again, we flew budget airline. So this trip to Penang, flight tickets $618, and we actually stayed in 2 hotels, Shangri-La Penang as well as Hotel Jen Georgetown. Shangri-La Penang is the one that I would like to give a bigger shout out to. The resort is beautiful. There's even a splash zone there for young kids. And Shangri-La Penang Golden Sands also has Adventure Zone. I rate it very highly, and if you're looking for ideas, it's somewhere that I'll suggest for you also. So flight tickets $618, hotel total cost $1,151, a total trip cost of $2,200 for Penang 6-day 5 nights. The 5th trip we did as a family was to KL. A self-drive up right from home all the way for 6 hours. I actually quite enjoyed the drive up, and we stayed in 2 hotels. The first is KL Alila Hotel, very near Mid Valley KL, and it's actually pretty cheap. I do rate it very highly looking back. The second hotel was actually in Shangri-La KL. Now you can see I'm a Shangri-La fan really because service is quite important for young kids around. So all the total hotel cost was $838. We visited Kidzania and also visited Super Park. Both of them are actually way cheaper in KL than in Singapore. And the total spend for that trip was $1,400. That leads to a 6th holiday of the year, which is the one I recently completed in December, Bangkok and Kanchanaburi. As you can see over here, I flew budget air again with AirAsia. And when I was in Shangri-La Bangkok, a fan actually recognized me and she asked me, "What flight are you taking back?" I sheepishly told her that I'll be taking AirAsia, and it goes to show, I really mean what I say. Be frugal, and if it's a short trip, a budget air is still bearable. Total flight cost, as you can see, $880 for 4 packs. Before we actually stayed in Bangkok, we actually did a road trip northwest towards Kanchanaburi. This is actually a very rustic area. If you're looking for safari parks and animal related activities, elephant bathing. Pretty cool, correct? I think this would rate highly. I brought my boys down to bathe the elephant and hopefully to let them understand about Mother Nature a bit better. The second day, we did a safari park tour whereby the giraffe, as you can see over here, stuck her neck in all the way to eat the carrots in our bowl. If you have young kids, I do recommend Kanchanaburi, and that's where I stayed for 2 nights before heading back to Bangkok. So in Bangkok, I actually stayed in Centera Watergate, where I was recognized by another fan, before moving hotels to Shangri-La Bangkok. While I was doing this video, I was telling my wife, nowadays we choose good hotels, and back when we were much younger, we were doing a lot of backpacking. These are some of our photos, 10-15 years back. And you can see my hair is very thick back in those days. We traveled to Japan, we traveled to Turkey, and we stayed in some exotic places. Well, nowadays with kids, I definitely can't choose as a place of lodging. So if you're a young couple, I do suggest to travel more. There's always many ways to save money back home here in Singapore. I haven't given you the total cost for this Bangkok Kanchanaburi trip. Flight $880, total hotel cost $1,254, which brings the total trip cost to $3,000. So let's do a quick roundup. All in all, 3-day 2 nights in Malacca, $700. 3-day 2 nights in Putri Harbour, $400. 7 days 6 nights in Taiwan, $4,000. 6 days 5 nights in Penang, $2,200. 4-day 3 nights in KL, $1,400. 7 days 6 nights in Bangkok Kanchanaburi, $3,000. All in all, I spent 30 days 24 nights, which almost feels like a month, of $11,700. This is way above my $9,000 per year budget, and it goes to show, very often we will underestimate our expenses. It's always good to pull up all the receipts to give ourselves better estimates as we plan ahead for the year. As always, if you have liked the sharing, smash the like button. Hopefully you've seen interesting ideas that you can adopt for your own trips in the coming year ahead. And a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Chris Plus. Look for my referral links below to sign up today to get your sign up offer right away. And before we leave, I have this question to pose to you. Is spending 5 to 10% of your income on holidays a year okay or not? It was a question I posted to Telegram group members. And with that, I'd like to invite you to this previous video I've done, my estimate of monthly expenses. Check that out and hopefully it can help you in your financial journey also. And I'll sign off from here. Take care as always. Goodbye.